Jamie here. Today I'd like to offer you an express flow, something that you can get on the mat, move, get some mindfulness, get some breath work in, and get your body moving. So nothing fancy today, just get on the mat and do the work. In yoga philosophy, it says, show up, do the practice, let go of attachment to outcome. So let's do it. Come into child's pose. Take your knees as wide as your mat. Big toes together, sink your hips to your heels. Outstretch the torso to the floor. Outstretch the arms. And rest your forehead on the mat. As you're in child's pose, take some deep inhales, deep exhales into the belly. So when you inhale, allow the diaphragm to move down to push the belly out to create space for more breath. On your inhale, lift the head, lift the forearms, and walk your hands over to the right. Take them as far as you can, and then once you get as far as you can, release the head back down. Now you're breathing into the left side of your torso. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, walk it over to the other side, walk it to the left side. Take it as far as you can, then release the head back down to the floor. Now you're breathing deeply into the right side of your torso. On your inhale, lift the head. Exhale, walk the hands back to center and come up to all four into tabletop. Once you get onto all four, spread the fingers wide, palms flat, and make sure that the elbows aren't bending like a bulldog. Also, if you tend to be hypermobile like I am, make sure you don't overly straighten the arms, so keep a micro bend. What I'd like for you to see here is a nice stacking of the bones, unless you have a really wide carrying angle, and then you may take your hands a little bit wider. Okay? From here, cat and cow pose. Inhale, arch the back, tailbone up, look up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone, and begin to flow with the breath. Inhale, arch, look up. Cow pose, feel free to move. On the exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Cat pose, like a Halloween kitty. Keep moving with the breath. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Good, one more. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. When you're done here, come back to a neutral spine, a nice flat back. And then from here, extend the right leg behind you. Oops, other one. Right leg behind you. So straight back. It should not be higher than your hip. You shouldn't be able to see it. It shouldn't be lower than your hip. It should be straight back. Press equally into both hands and make sure you're not slumping into the shoulders. Press up and out through the shoulders. Hold and breathe. Hug the belly button to your spine. Good. On the exhale, set the leg down. Go to the other side. Extend your left leg behind you. And again, parallel to the floor. Toes point down, flex your foot. Push up and out through the shoulders. Make sure you're not bulldogging or hyperextending through the elbows. Good. Hold here and breathe. Press the palms into the mat. Slow and steady breath. Good. Next, exhale, release that back leg down. Bring your knees together and sit on your heels. If this hurts your knees, you can sit crisscross applesauce. Good. Now reach the arms straight out in front of you. And we're going to point the fingers down. Take an inhale. Exhale, point the fingers up. Good, move with the breath. Inhale, fingers down. Exhale, point the fingers up. Good, one more time. Inhale. Exhale, fingers up. Good, now take some circles with your wrists. As you take the circles, take the arms up. All the way up. Now reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Palms face each other, not forward. And then reach as tall as you can. Good. Take an inhale here. Exhale, drop your right hand to the side and lean over. And if you've chosen to sit on your heels and your knees start to hurt, just change it to crisscross applesauce. Shift the gaze up, lift the heart up. Keep breathing. On your inhale, come back to center, both arms reach up. Exhale to the other side, drop the left hand down, reach over to the left. Good, inhale, bring it back to center, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart in prayer. Take a breath here. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, allow the shoulders to drop down. Good, come back to tabletop, all four. Good, now when you get to tabletop, all four, we're moving into downward facing dog. So you'll tuck your toesies under. Keep your knees bent as you begin to lift the hips. And as you lift the hips, begin to sink the chest back. And again, being aware of your arms. You're not bulldogging. You're not hyper extending through the elbows. Find a nice middle point and then press back with the hands. And then once you get your hips as high as they can go, stretch your chest back while you hug your ribs in. So again, if you're hypermobile, don't push all the way back. Your ears should be right about where your biceps are on your arms. Now, straighten into both of your legs. On your inhale, lift up onto the tips of your toes. Exhale, take your heels back and down. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, back and down. One more time, inhale, lift high. Exhale, back and down. Shifting into a push-up position. Take an inhale. On the exhale, take your knees, chest, and your chin to the mat. So it's kind of like an inchworm. So press into the hands so you're not dumping the weight into your chin. From this inchworm position, slide through to the belly. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. Exhale, back, hips to heels. And then press back to downward facing dog. Good, from here, step your right foot between your hands. Come into a runner's lunge. So you have your ankle, your knee to your armpit. Good, now drop your back knee to the mat. Take a few moments here, sinking the hips down and forward. Stay with your breath. Good, from here, slowly begin to straighten your front leg. It might not go all the way straight, but take it as straight as you can. Pull your toes back towards you, and then release the head, release the neck. Keep breathing. Good, inhale, rebend that front knee. Bring both your hands to your knee, lift your chest. Good. If your back knee hurts, you can double up your mat or you can put a blanket under it. If you have any knee issues, you can keep the knee lifted as an option. From here, reach both arms up and overhead. Again, palms are facing each other. Fingertips are reaching high. And then you sink down and forward. Breathe. reach your right arm up to twist. Stack the shoulders and look up to that thumb right above your nose. As you're holding this twist, make sure that front knee isn't dropping out. Hug it into the midline. On your exhale, release both hands to the mat. Step back to a push-up position. Again, taking the knees, chest, and chin. Make that inchworm shape. Press into the hands, and then slide through to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back hips to heels. And then take it back, downward facing dog. Other side. Left foot steps forward, runner's lunge. Drop the back knee to the mat, and then find your alignment, ankle, knee to armpit. And then take this moment to sink down and forward. Keep breathing. On your exhale, straighten into the front leg. Again, as straight as it goes. You might not go all the way straight. And then once you get it as straight as you can, flex the toes back towards you. Release the head, release the heart. Nice, steady breath. Inhale, bend the front knee. Bring both hands to your knee, lift your chest. And a good way to find your balance here if you feel a little wobbly is to think about hugging the legs to the center. Oftentimes we're not engaging our low belly. Everything just kind of splays out. So think about hugging everything to center. Inhale, reach both arms up. Hold and breathe. To action. Reach up and root down. On your exhale, release both hands to the mat. Keep your right hand down, reach the left arm up to twist. Again, stack the shoulders. Elevate the gaze up. On the exhale, release both hands down. Step back to plank, push up. Take your knees, chest, and your chin to the mat. Make that inchworm shape. And then pull through to the belly. Inhale, cobra, lift the chest. Exhale, hips to heels. And then press back, downward facing dog. Shift the gaze between the hands. Step your feet to the top of your mat, come into a forward fold. The feet can be together, or they can be hip distance. But make sure the toes are pointing forward. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Shake the shoulders. Maybe shake the booty. From here, interlace the fingers behind the back. Reach the hands towards the ceiling. And again, if you're tight, it might be hard to lift them. So you can keep them right on the back if you need to. On your next exhale, release the hands back to the floor. Shake the shoulders out. On your inhale, bend the knees, roll it up to standing. Once you get to standing, bring your hands together at your heart. Bring awareness down into your feet. So in other words, we're not just kind of hanging out. Ready? We're standing tall. This is mountain pose. So embody a mountain. Bring your hands to prayer. Embody this state of union, yoga. Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Release the head, release the neck. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, jump or step back. Lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold and breathe. Slow and steady breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Inhale, jump or step, tap the mat. Bring it halfway up. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale to rise. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, jump or step back, lower down, halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Take an inhale. On the exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Inhale, jump or step, top of the mat, halfway up. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale to stand, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. Exhale, jump or step back, lower down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Hold and breathe. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, shift the gaze forward. Inhale, jump or step, top the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a big inhale. Big exhale, blow it out. Good, from here, come into a forward fold. Once you come into your forward fold, grab opposite hand to opposite elbow and hook them in a way where you don't have to hold on. And then literally hang out. Maybe sway side to side. Let the shoulders hang. Let the head go. Good, release the fingertips to the floor. Step back with your right leg into a runner's lunge. Good, once you get that right leg back into a runner's lunge, drop the back heel down and in. Good, come into warrior B. Bring the torso up, outstretch the arms. And as you come into warrior B, make sure that front knee is right above your ankle. And if you look back at your back arm, make sure it's not higher or lower, but straight in alignment with your shoulders. Use your inhales to sit a little taller. Use your exhales to sink the tailbone down a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach to the front of the room with straight legs. Come into triangle pose. Reach that front hand down wherever it falls. Maybe just not on the kneecap. And then reach the other arm up. Elevate your drishti. Elevate your gaze to your thumb right above your nose. On your exhale, bend the front knee, take your elbow to knee for side angle. Reach the top arm towards the front of your mat, palm down, and then elevate the gaze up. Now with that elbow on your knee, make sure you can lift it. We're not just kind of hanging out for the bus stop here. Make sure you're using your abs. On the exhale, release both hands to the mat, step up to a forward fold, top of your mat. Take a moment, shake out the legs. Let the head go. Other side, step your left leg back, runner's lunge. Once the left leg is back, drop the heel down and in. Rise up, warrior B. Come to stand as you bend that front knee, outstretch the arms. So there's a thing you want to focus on here is that uplift of the low belly. This is going to help to stabilize the low back. It's going to help to keep the energy elevated and lifting up instead of stagnant and down. Straighten your front leg on the inhale. Exhale, lean to the front of your mat with straight legs. Coming into triangle pose, place that bottom hand down, reach the top arm up, look up. On the exhale, bend the front knee, elbow to knee, reach the top arm over your ear, lift the gaze for side angle. And again, we're using our legs, using our abs, lighten up on that bottom arm. On the exhale, take both hands to the mat. This time, step back, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, blow it out through the mouth as you take the knees for child's pose. Knees apart, big toes together. Sink your hips to your heels, rest the forehead on the mat. On your inhale, lift the head, threading the needle. You're going to take your right hand, palm up, and slide your right arm underneath your left arm, and then take the right side of your head to the floor. Now that free arm out in front can stay put, or you can wrap it along your low back, and you're pressing to open. Inhale brings you back to center, child's pose. Moving to the other side, take the left palm face up, thread the needle under that right arm, place the head back to the floor. That free hand can be right in front, or you can wrap it along the low back. Inhale brings you back to child's pose. Take a breath here. Inhale up to all four, tabletop. Once you get to all four, tabletop, come onto your forearms. So a good way to know if you're in the right spot is take your hands to your biceps and measure. And if you can grab your biceps, that's about where your elbows should be. Now outstretch the forearms parallel to the floor. So ideally, in an ideal world, your forearms are parallel. If you have tighter shoulders, maybe the thumbs touch. Maybe if it still is not quite comfortable, interlace the fingers, pinky edge down. Then once you find that placement, press up and out through the shoulders, hug the belly button in. Coming into dolphin pose, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and then press your chest back just like you would in down dog. Now begin to walk your feet towards your face, a few inches. And as you bring them in closer, lift the hips and stretch the chest back. Hold and breathe. If this is too uncomfortable or does not work for you, come into downward facing dog instead. See if you can walk the feet in a little closer, maybe an inch or so. Keep lifting the hips, keep pressing back. 2 more breaths. On your exhale, bring the knees to the mat, knees together, feet together, have a seat on your heels. And again, if this hurts your knees, sit crisscross applesauce. Good, now lift your shoulders up towards your ears, take an inhale. Exhale, let them drop back and down. Good, let the arms rest at your side. Let the weight of gravity stretch the shoulders down. Good, now drop your head to the right. Lean to the right a little and place that right palm down. And then wrap your left arm along your low back. Feeling that nice big stretch in that shoulder, neck area on the left side of your head, neck. Good, back to center, other side, drop your head to the left. Take that left hand down, wrap the right arm along your low back, stretching into your neck. Good, bring it back to center. And take your head up and let it tilt back, stretch your neck. Relax the jaw. Good, head back to center. Find your way onto your belly. Once you find your way onto your belly, you're going to take your elbows wide, stack your hands, take your forehead to your hands. This is called crocodile pose, and it is in fact a real yoga pose. As you're holding crocodile pose, see if you can relax the booty and follow the wave of breath. When you inhale, you'll feel your body lift. As you exhale, you'll feel your body sink. Now, if this feels right and good and true for you, stay put. If you want a little more stretch on your low back, we're coming into Sphinx pose. Come onto your forearms. So think about how we set the foundation for dolphin pose. Same thing here. You can measure. Elbows are directly under the shoulders. Forearms parallel. And just like in dolphin pose, don't allow the upper body to sink down. Press into the forearms to lift up and out of it. So while the shoulders are working, the lower back is completely relaxed. Your booty is mushy and soft and your legs are soft. And then you have 2 options. You can keep your gaze forward or you can release the head down. Releasing the head down gives your neck a nice stretch. It might feel good to take the head side to side. Stay connected with your breath. When you inhale, feel the lift. When you exhale, feel the sink. Each breath is a microcosm of life, right? There's the inhale, the very beginning of it's the birth, and then the full inhale is adulthood, right? And then the exhale, the slow exhale is the decline in age, before we do it all over again. It's the cycle of life. And for those of us who are anxious, we tend to hold our breath in, right? Inherently, there's a fear, right, of letting go, a fear of death. So the more we can get in tune with letting go and letting our exhale go full, it will begin to translate into bigger things, moving from the micro to the macro. Keep breathing. Then on your exhale, lower down. Once you lower down, you're going to flip over like a vegan hot dog. Come onto your back. Maybe you're a bratwurst, I don't know. I'm a vegan hot dog. Once you come onto your back, you're going to hug both your knees into your chest. Grab them and hug them in. Hello? You're upside down, or am I upside down? I don't know. Good, now take the knees wide and hug your knees towards your armpits. Now grab behind the knees, take your feet up like a dead bug. And hug those knees in towards your armpits. Good, now you have options. You can stay put, or you can grab shins, you can grab ankles, or you can grab the outer edge of your feet. Keeping the hips on the floor, flattening out through the low back. Good, now rock side to side. And you can choose to be a dead bug or a happy baby, whatever feels more accurate for today. Good, bring it back to center. Release the feet to the mat. Bring the feet and knees all the way together. Yep, and then allow the knees to drop out like a butterfly. Allow the soles of your feet to come together. Then take your right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. Close the eyes. Begin to relax the breath. Begin to tune in to the wave of breath that is happening inside of you. The inhale is the swell of the wave. The exhale is the crash of the wave. Inhale is the birth. Exhale is the death. Inhale is the high, the elevated. The exhale is the low, grounded. Keep riding that wave of breath. Allow it to be natural, unaltered, free. The more we tune into the breath, the more we're able to ride the waves in everyday life. Again, moving from the micro to the macro. If we can learn to let the breath go, we can learn how to go with the flow. Soften the body in response to the breath. Soften the mind to what it wants to think about, or what's next, or what was, and let the breath really tune in one pointedness to the rise and fall of your breath. make some circles with the knees. And then grab behind both of your knees, rock it up to seated. Once you get to seated, bring your hands together, your heart, close the eyes, bow the head to your hands. Whatever brought you to the mat today, whatever the call was to practice this yoga, feel good about the effort put forth. It's not about the outcome. It's all about showing up and doing the work and letting go of attachment to outcome. And there is never any effort wasted on this path of yoga. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.